Hey guys, and welcome to Raven Collects. Today we're looking at The Curse of the Spawn 2. So, last time we looked at the Reborn series, but that was the second wave in the Reborn series, so this is from the first wave of that series. So what it is, this series is a limited edition rerun of old figures, and I think they're like redecorated and repainted and that sort of thing as well. So these were like the best-selling ones, I guess, so that's kind of why Mcfarlane re-released them. So this guy looks really interesting. He's got a real cape, which I am really keen to get out of his box and see, because I reckon that's going to look amazing. He also has some bats on him, and just, yeah, overall a lot of detail. Obviously this figure looks a lot more like a action figure rather than a statue, so I'm also really interested to see how it all turns out and works. So without further ado, let's get him out of his box.
Alright guys, so we got the box and it's a very brown dull box, but I suppose his red cape helps lighten it up a bit. But yeah, it's a very interesting design. So the last Reborn one was like all purple, and I think that one stood out a lot more. So the side here, very nice, I like this. This is a really good shot of Curse of the Spawn. And then we've got the back. So I actually don't have any of these other figures. This is the first one in the line. I think I just want these two at the bottom though. Definitely got to get Raven Spawn, obviously. Can't live without Raven Spawn. And we definitely need the guy with the wings. I actually almost picked him up the other week, but somebody else got to it before me, unfortunately. And I thought this was funny. The cape being real fabric has actually left some in here. So yeah, I thought that was quite funny. There was actually a couple of red string bits laced around the packaging. Anyway, let's get him out. So obviously another clamshell, and you know how much I love clamshells. But this one, yeah, a little bit of a fight. Not too bad though. We'll get the packaging out, and then here he is. So this is looking pretty nice so far. I think, yeah, the bats are a really nice touch. But yeah, let's have a look at the pullout. So we already saw the front and stuff. We've got Ultra Action Figures written here that I can barely read. And then it's got the original issue was on a different date, so I thought that was interesting. And this advertising, now this is really nice. This is something that I've been wanting to see from Mcfarlane for quite a while. Shows all the figures, and yeah, it just looks really cool. So we've unboxed two of these already, the two monster ones down the bottom. I don't have the other ones, but I'm thinking of getting the Al Simmons here. I think he looks really cool there. And then we've got the Collectors Club and all that, as well as the other figures. So he did the aliens and the predators. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll end up picking these up. I have looked at them and they're not too badly priced, so I may get some someday, but I think I want to finish my Spawn collection first. So let's get him out of his zip ties. So nothing special about the zip ties this week. But yeah, got quite a few. But besides that, yeah, nothing special. So we'll have a look at this. This is like, I don't know what to call this. I've just been calling it like a hatchet, but it's really, yeah, something else. It's very interesting. Yeah, I think it looks really cool though. So let's get Spawn himself out. Oh, I missed this one. There we go. So we've got the bats here as well. Now for a little bit I thought these were the same bats that came in the other Spawn packaging. If you've seen my other videos, you know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure they are the same bats. And unfortunately this one here, he's, yeah, a bit crushed. So yeah, that kind of sucks, and I don't really want to break him, so I'm just going to leave him alone. And then we've got Spawn, so he's got lots of horns sticking out of him. We've got his cape here that is very stuck onto him. I'm not sure if it's meant to be like that or what, but yeah, obviously it's been in here a long time, so it could just be all ruffled up like that. But it's very like hard. It was a bit of a surprise that it was like that. But yeah, overall he looks pretty good, I think. He doesn't like to stand up, which is a bit of a problem, but what can you do? So I thought we'd look at this because there's no instructions to put him together. He doesn't have his hatchet thing here. That's a bit odd, but I kind of just put him together like this. Obviously he's supposed to have his bats on just the one shoulder, but thought I'd spread them out a bit. So let's look at the articulation, a little bit of wrist articulation. We've got some at the shoulder here. And then this side, a little stiff, but not too bad. Wrist articulation, no elbow on that side. We've got a little on the leg, there's nothing on the foot or knees. So it's basically like, 6 or 7 points of articulation all up, so not really too much. I feel like when Mcfarlane does this, I want him to just go into the articulation, like, not kind of do it like haphazardly like this. I think his head can move as well, but it is, really stuck on, so I'm just not gonna bother. So this was another thing that didn't really want to go together, unfortunately. So yeah, his hatchet doesn't want to go into his hand. So it's a very thin sort of weapon, so I don't want to over push it and possibly break it. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Obviously, if you have it, you can try and jiggle it in there as much as you would like. But for me, I'm just going to leave it like that. Alright, so I'll leave you guys with the showcase and some beats, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts.
Alright guys, that has been our look at the Curse of Spawn 2. So yeah, this one's an interesting one. It's kind of a mix between a action figure and more of the statue type figures that Mcfarlane's been putting out for ages. I kind of wish that he had gone for either the action figure or the statue. I feel like this is in between, but it doesn't really work in either way. Yeah, because you can't really play with it all that much. Obviously, I would have liked to have gotten his scythe hatchet thing in his hand a bit better, so it's a little disappointing that that doesn't really go in, and I don't want to try and force it in and possibly break it. The cape is another thing that I am kind of disappointed by. It's pretty like rock hard, and I don't know why it is like that. It seems to have some sort of paint or something over it, which has kind of made it that way. I'd like to iron it, but I don't know if that is going to wreck it or what. I'd really like to have it like really nice and flowing behind him rather than sort of like this crinkled up thing. Though I will say, you've got to remember, this has been in its box 20 years, so yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge what it would have looked like 20 years ago when it first came out. Maybe the cape would have been a lot better. I will say the detail here is off the charts like usual. We've got exposed flesh and muscles everywhere, and Mcfarlane has not skimped on that detail. There's a nice wash of gloss over those areas, which really helps make it look a bit realer. and the like bone armor that he's got wrapped around him. While there's not much detail on that, I do appreciate the way that they've done it, that sort of dark undertone with a grey dry brush over the top, because that really works. And I would have liked to have seen them do like sort of maybe paint these bones in like a bone colour or something, but it's completely fine. I think overall this one is going to look good on the shelf with the rest of them, as it always does. I will say I'm a little disappointed, but you know, it's kind of just a weird in-between one that, yeah, I'm not quite 100% sold on. But let me know what you guys think down below, if this is one you really enjoy, or if you picked up the original one. Is the original one a bit different? Let me know, and yeah, do leave me a comment down there, leave me a like, and if it's your first time here, consider hitting the subscribe button, because I've got a lot more Spawn figures to unbox. So I'll see you guys on the next one.